Butterflies fill my spine, I feel myself getting hot again. Nerves rushing through my brain, yeah, they can't hear fire from the trees. You're standing by his side, red drops burning down your face. You're real close now, baby. Holy fuck, I feel it with you. I lose self-control. Now I found that you're not one to hear me now. You got me on my knees begging for your lady. And like a fool to stand around and let you blame me. And I'm riding in the sky to the heavens like an
Hi, welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. My name is Leo Connors. I'm your host. Tonight I got a very special guest. This is show one tonight. Pro wrestler Eric Dillon.
Put it there, brother.
Look at this.
I screwed up. I meant to wear long sleeves. And as you know, the beautiful assistant that I brought spoiled the joke. So
No,
if I
she
could
didn't.
hold on. Listen, can I just put the bird on somebody else?
You
Because
could,
I know
yeah.
I'm going to get heat.
Yeah.
So where's my camera? I understand we're public access,
Yeah.
but you
Oh,
know this. No, right?
yeah.
It's not real.
Stone Cold Steve Austin
It's
style.
not real.
All right, like we talked off here, we're going to just go through the fan questions, and then we'll probably talk some music, some wrestling, play the name game. But Davey Cash wants to know, does he have reflexes like a cat? I want to see someone ask the same question when you were on before.
Hold on. Where is my camera? Because I think Davey might be watching this.
You're right there.
Oh, hey, David. You know damn well I ask you, brother, what are we doing? So you tell me, do I have reflexes like a cat? I don't think I moved when that slap was coming. No, but seriously, David knows that I move very slow. I'm clumsy and lose most of my own shit, and I lose his stuff too. And somebody that if you were to ask me later on when we do our name game, 20 most real people that I know, David Cash is one of the realest dudes.
No doubt.
You either
I
love
hear
him or
you.
you hate him,
Yeah.
but he comes through.
Yeah, I love him.
That's a man of his word.
No doubt.
Good
And
kid
I
too.
need to get him sitting
Shout
in the
out to
show.
Cassius.
He lives far away, so it's
Yeah.
like it's hard to, you know what I mean?
well,
Get guests.
what's far to
But
you is close to me, right?
Oh, dude, you live even farther.
Well, brother, if it's worth it, you got to take the drive.
There you go. All right, one of my favorite past guests recently, Han Wonder wants to know, how did you meet trainee number one?
You know, I'm so tired of telling the Marty Jannetty story about the bowling alley and how we met, but like, you know, Han, it's a simple matter of fact question. I had a confidence issue, you know, and I'm not talking about looks, because goddamn, right? But you could almost say Leo's sitting next to a Sheen version of Chris Cornell, maybe Timu, Sons of Anarchy. Who knows? Either way, guaranteed, I shave my mustache better than half the people that try this. You know, I had a bun in 5th grade, guys. Everybody else is Eric Dillon Light. Heat. Like I got shows to miss? Come on. Anyways.
Yeah, so that's where you met trainee number one?
Point is, I
met him at the bowling alley?
I signed an NDA, and I'm trying to avoid this question, man.
All right.
This is almost as bad as the penis suplex.
Dude, those guys are awesome, though. They really are.
I'll tell you what. I watched a short of mine. They told me I took a cold bump. I took a bump and tagged Tony, and we do the tapings, and that's the last place where I go in there.
Yeah.
I watched Raw this Monday, and I'm in my 30s now and shit like that, but like, you know, being behind the curtain, okay, it's still able to have a suspension of disbelief, but you know, when Bret Hart said for his thing, for those 2 seconds, you looked in his eyes, every word he said he believed for 5 seconds.
Right.
He was the hitman.
Yeah.
You know?
He was the best there is, the best there was.
Nobody forgot it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for me,
no doubt.
it was before, okay, I want to wrestle guys like, you know, I I always wanted to wrestle guys like Lance Cade, Trevor Murdoch, who's huge
Good
now.
dudes, man.
Yes,
Great wrestlers,
but
too.
Unfortunately, Lance Cade passed away 29.
Yes,
but
yes.
these guys like. There's a lot of guys that don't realize that he was trained by Shawn Michaels, but like there's still guys out there that you can, the worst somebody's going to say is, "Hey, you're annoying,"
Right, right.
But I talked to Paul London the other day, and I told you birds weren't real, and I don't think he thinks so either. Okay.
I love Paul London. He's an unbelievable guy. I guess off there, I got a
once
story
he
for you
finds
about
out your
him.
opinion about birds, I just don't know how that's going to go.
You're funny. All right. So listen, Han Wonder has another question.
Oh, geez.
And I don't think
he just wants to.
I think you're too nice to be this person.
Oh, I don't know, brother.
Are you or have you ever been Mayor McCheese? I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
No, okay, here's the thing. Honestly, at this point, it would be the most successful thing I've ever done if I could pull that rip for the song.
Yeah.
Better than the Montreal Screwjob. Guys, I really wish, but listen, I put my f***ing phone in the refrigerator today. So, like, Mayor McCheese, I wouldn't even remember how to log in. I'll truthfully give you 4 of my top suggestions that I had in 2007 or 8 or whenever that shit was. I will give it to you, for sure. It was not me, I promise. Because,
People said it was me too. It was ridiculous.
Right,
I'm too nice to be Mayor McCheese.
But at the same time, like, everybody hates me, so like, why wouldn't I be afraid just to?
Right.
No,
I hear you.
Not that, and I don't mean everybody hates me, but what I mean is that through my own detriments and other things.
Yep.
And it's a blessing and a curse. Like I said, I've talked about this before. You start really young, and you stay in the same area.
Yeah.
People might still remember you as that 13-year-old kid,
right?
Or remember all the mistakes you made to get to the 2020 hindsight now, because 31. 16 years.
Right.
I mean, that sounds like 31, 16 years, Brickhouse Baker, Ashford chops. But no, it's stupid to say that long.
Right.
Because what do I have to show for it? Really cool figures we'll talk about later. But
Dude,
brother,
they're amazing.
Thank you. But honestly, that gets more attention than the wrestling. But I wanted to wrestle Al Snow. I wanted to wrestle Rob Conway.
Right.
I got to tell you, Swerve Strickland, I don't know who that is. I don't know any bands past Soundgarden.
Right.
So.
Well, we're definitely going to be talking about 90s grunge music in a little bit.
Oh, I know grunge is a dirty world. Let's call it subterranean pop.
All right, so I was going to ask how you met Monster Mac, but I'm sure it's the same way you met Trainee Number One.
NDA.
All right.
Jesus.
Okay. So let me go to the next couple questions, all right?
Sure.
We got Matthew McGee. You know Freight Train?
Freight Train?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. He says, have you been in locker rooms with any legends of wrestling?
Oh,
and if so, how was your experience?
Hold on. I'm very confused by this question because
it's not the Freight Train you're thinking.
Okay,
of.
cool. All right, cool. Very good.
You know what I mean? His guy wrestled for WAW in Manchester and stuff like that.
All right.
I think you know who he is.
Dude, you remember the Rochester Roadblock?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You were in the locker room with him?
No, but I told you about that. How old do you think I am, God?
No, I'm only asking because he asked have you ever been in
Before I got
locker
here,
rooms?
you thought I got here with Dennis Coralluzzo and Burt Prentice.
Dude, that was hilarious.
Well,
So you brought both of them up and they're both
when
dead.
you arrive in a hearse, what the hell? Oh, my Undertaker.
Oh, my God.
All right.
But have you been in any locker rooms with legends?
Yeah, man.
Yeah?
That's the reason why I like this local wrestling, because they come out on the way down and you see, we're all regular people.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Just because I feel like I can control this narrative, it is a healthy flirtation between you and I. I talk to you the same way off the show, which is why we have this chemistry.
Right.
It's not like pulling teeth. I can't stand going to bars or clubs or anything like that, but I love meeting wrestling fans. I met an 8-year-old boy, and if you splice this clip up, it could look terrible.
Right.
But it's the greatest compliment I ever received. 8-year-old kid comes up to me at a show. I'm not even wrestling at the show. I'm just dressed in my regular, I look like I might have, was Mark Lanigan's dealer,
Okay.
All right. So
Leo's dealer.
well, I'm wearing overalls, brother. I'm trudging in that Soundgarden mode,
Yeah, you
okay?
are.
Yes. Look in California, feel in Minnesota, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you, did you share a locker room?
Yes.
ever? No, with Iron Sheik.
Oh.
I only got 2 guys I really want to ask you about. 2 legends.
Because that question goes a little, that I was trying to deflect, because that question goes.
Wait, but you can't deflect all the questions.
No, but I'm going to, but like,
I love you,
a lot
man.
of people's questions are, if you're in the locker room with
Yep.
this legend, what did they do that we have dirt on them?
Oh no,
And
I'm not
don't-
looking for that.
No, I know you're not.
I don't think Matthew McGee is either.
Well, me neither, but I didn't think Matthew McGee wasn't the real freight train. So
well, he is but not the original
Well,
freight train that you know. And
if we keep thinking we're going to work ourselves into a shoot, then we'll both be marks like Hulk Hogan, brother.
listen, Han Wonder came back. He says, "How does Ted DiBiase feel about you?" I got to hear this.
Oh, wicked funny. All right. Wicked funny. Okay. You know what? I wish I met Monster Mac there, but unfortunately, NDA. Anyways, so I'm Tony's wrestling Raven.
Yeah.
So excited, you know,
Right.
wrestling Scott Levy. Scott
That's
Levesque.
crazy.
Makes
Yeah.
sense, right?
Yeah.
His boy. One of my favorites. That's the equivalent of a lot of my favorite wrestler, Eddie Guerrero, Sabu, Chris
Right.
Canyon, you know.
Right. All great workers.
All dead and poor. I will
Yep.
never wrestle them, and that's why I love doing this stuff. And that's why I liked being around when I was young, because those guys were, James Gibson versus Larry Zbyszko versus Tatanka versus Brickhouse Baker at Swansea.
Wow.
Sign me up.
Yeah,
and I
that's
get to hold
awesome.
a 35-pound camera.
Yeah.
And at 14, that's just crazy to me. It's backbreaking work if I think about it now. I would never do it, but I would do it all over again if I just didn't know that, people aren't always people. you
Right.
know?
Yep.
But I've never met the Iron Sheik, and the last question.
Ted
that was-
DiBiase.
So, all right. It's not terrible. So I was warming up for the match. Tony was wrestling Raven.
Yeah.
And I could tell he was very excited. But I don't know. Let's just say Raven had some jet lag. He was tired. I don't know.
Right.
know. But I was warming up, doing some stuff, and I love to pop the boys with a lot of impressions. You know what I mean? And my favorite wrestler is Eddie Guerrero. So. Good Christian man, Ted DiBiase.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. Hey, buddy. Allegedly, hold on. No, I'm sorry. That's
You're right.
wait, hold on. That's priceless there. Brett played a little too much golf, tore his knee.
Yep.
I don't think he's priceless. That's what was that 2 point? Anyway, stop stealing from the collection plate, brother. This is why in '95
Yeah.
he didn't wear the suit.
Right.
Yeah, a million. In fact, I got a call from Ted last night. He told me he pawned the actual $1 Million Man suit, and that's why the $1 Million Corporation started. And he started wearing just the regular suit, not even tailored.
Nice,
It was
not even tailored.
hovering around him like a church suit. You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So listen, I like this. This isn't really a question, but I can turn it into one.
You can turn it into
From
whatever you want.
Ryan Brown.
Love
You
it.
were at an ACW show and you worked Gino Giovanni. You got split open in the back of the head. You went to the show and came back after went to the hospital, came back to the show and hung out. Ryan said that was badass. But so you remember wrestling Gino Giovanni? And did you enjoy wrestling Gino? Because I know a lot of people didn't.
I'm going to tell you right now, Gino Giovanni is one of my favorite people in the world.
Nice.
Do I like to wrestle him? Holy shit, he is stiff and excited, and I am very, very. He's just he's so good. If I wish I was his GQ Smooth when he was doing his thing in SCCW. He was always my favorite talker, but when I got to know him. He had a very close relationship with his mom, and I'm an only child, just like him. And he actually, I think he might have a sister, I believe. But either way, he lived with his mom, and they were out in Providence. And sorry, I haven't talked to Gino in I don't know, maybe 8 years.
Wow.
Last I heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but he may have moved to Vegas and started doing culinary stuff.
Oh, wow.
But this goes back to me saying okay. I've been around here for too long. It's time to switch it up.
Right.
I genuinely think that sometimes if you drink the same milk, after a while it gets a little sour. And if you stop believing in your own bullshit, it's very visible to somebody, especially that's been watching you for 20 years.
Right.
Because when I hear Notorious, I don't think of that rapper. I think of Gino Giovanni.
Yeah.
You know. But a cool story. I was rooming with Brandon on County Street. It was the party house.
Brandon Webb.
Yes, Brandon
Yes.
Webb, the Devil's Reject. We had catering and everything. And, my mom insists. She loves Gino. Loves Gino. And Gino knew it embarrassed me very much, you know, because
Yeah.
you know Eric Dillon's mom's bringing brownies, and they weren't even the good ones. They had WWF logos on them, you know. guy, I'm like 17.
Yeah.
Jim Neidhart's in the back. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. I bet you Jim Neidhart enjoyed the brownie.
I'm pretty sure my dad shoulder checked him and didn't even know who he was.
No.
And then he asked me if he'd ever been to Japan. I have no idea. All I remember is like, oh yeah. I remember, let's just say I went outside for a cigarette and Jim followed me and was talking to me. And then somebody was like, oh, where's he going to kiss ass? But like, honestly, go drive him to the airport and pay for him to or work. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Or maybe you don't, but you will by the end of this.
But no, Gino Giovanni would make a good guest here,
Gino
for
Giovanni
sure.
would be, if I could just let anybody who has not been aware of Gino Giovanni, he is the guy who would show up to a show with 10 people dressed to the nines, like there were 9,000, and could care less about the finish of the match, worked for the product,
Yep.
made a guy who literally had a speech impediment and was sort of self-conscious about it into my favorite wrestler as a kid, GQ Smooth.
Okay.
You know?
Yep.
So, and he always stressed the custom gear thing. So, you know, when I was, like I said, I was a tape trader.
Right.
There was a lot of guys that I would recognize. You know, we mentioned Christian Angers. He was another guy who had obscure name.
Right.
But I wrote down these names. I have notebooks and notebooks full of guys.
Right.
You know, somebody might look like somebody. It's Rain Man. You know, I think Scott Sharkey sort of looks like. Oh, geez. Scott Sharkey looks exactly like. You know, I had it before here, but maybe Johnny Idol.
Okay.
Maybe a young Johnny
Johnny
Idol.
Idol was going to be here next week.
You know, I haven't seen him in a while. I don't know if he likes me, but like I
Johnny
say
likes
that.
almost anybody.
He's really
He
nice.
really is a
The only
nice
reason
guy.
I say that about everybody.
No, I know
okay?
you do. I know.
Because tell a friend, tell a wrestler. I know that I sit down with Sonny Goodspeed at APW.
Yeah.
We're having a dip, dying in tears. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Or same thing with Woody. We would sit there and bullshit. I don't know a
Right.
goddamn
Oh,
thing
Big
about,
Woody?
Yeah.
Oh, he was
you know,
the best,
I didn't know a
man.
goddamn thing about boxing, but I would just talk shit about Mike Tyson and tell him my back was broken and
Yeah.
it was spinal, and he would laugh at that.
Woody loved boxing.
Oh, yeah,
I was,
yeah.
And I really,
Oh, yeah.
you know, with Feed It Pass, I was trying to get a boxing, you know, episode and have him on with me.
Listen, I think that would have been cool, but how cool would it be if like for that episode we could secure the 4 ropes like that?
Yeah, it could work.
We are inside the ring.
Yeah, we
in
are.
other sports.
We are.
So we could. No soccer. I ain't getting up.
Nice. Well, listen, you know how much I love music. I know how much you love music.
Do you?
And you know, let's talk music. Like bands like Candlebox, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Mother Love Bone, all these
What
bands.
makes you think that I don't like Lil Wayne and Little Young
Oh, I
and
don't
Gucci?
mind them either.
Also, Sexy Reed. What makes you think I don't like those people?
You might like them.
Card
so
ID.
who do you like?
Absolutely everybody you said. I don't know, guys. I just read shit by hand. I don't know anybody. So I think this is my one time where I give a shout out to my mom. She's cool as hell. I, as an only child, I didn't like Transformers.
Yeah.
I wanted Alive in the Super Unknown used.
Okay.
Strange, you know?
Yeah.
But that was what my mom listened to. But it wasn't Fell on Black Days or those hit songs.
Right.
I had an obsession with finding out these nonsensical lyrics. And that's sort of what I sort of found in common with guys like, you know, guys who would listen to L7, like Brian Pillman coming up the shit list, you know?
Right.
That's grunge, so to speak, you know? It's not. Everything comes back. Everything's popular, right?
Yep.
You know, flannels and stuff like that.
Right. Everything
But
comes back around.
I'm so consistent that I don't remember the last time I didn't have a bun, other than when I tried to bleach my hair like Hulk Hogan in the tub and they all fell out. Except I didn't have a girlfriend, but nobody banged the pool boy. Poor Hogan. Or was that Terry? Which one has the 10-inch? I have no idea. Anyways,
Actually, didn't Hogan said neither one? No, he said Terry Bollea doesn't have that.
That's right.
Hulk Hogan does.
Listen,
so.
Eric Dillon
That's
has
what
got
he
a
said.
35.
Oh yeah. Well, listen, I know, like, You brought up to me the other day when we were on the phone and you were talking about the screaming trees.
Yes. So let's go back to our music. You're absolutely right about the grunge thing. Okay. So I am very. So our relationship was like at first we first started talking was very professional.
Yeah.
And then once I think you posted a video, and in the back, I swear I heard Far Behind on the radio,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh shit. And then I'm looking at your page. Oh, nobody likes the bands that I like.
Yep, I do.
click it. Listen, what band? What did I say? Crossfade on the phone to you yesterday?
Yeah, dude, and I love.
I think it's me.
They were awesome.
It's me, you, and her that knows who Crossfade is. You know,
That trendsetter, baby.
Dude, my favorite song,
Colors.
The Unknown.
too. Oh, that's good too.
Right?
Very good.
Very good.
But Colors was their big hit that was played on the radio.
Right. You know that I know every single lyric of every single song,
That's
on
awesome.
every single album. Yeah,
No
I
kidding.
wish I didn't. I don't know how to divide.
Right. I only know that. I only know their first album.
Yeah.
That's it.
I've literally forgotten how to divide just so I could remember Eddie Guerrero's weight, height, and entire family lineage.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know something? You along with a lot of people, loved Eddie Guerrero. That's why, and he was one of the best of all time.
But a lot of people like Eddie for his wrestling.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I loved. Now I didn't know this. You know, when you love a wrestler, you don't necessarily have to emulate every single terrible behavior.
Right.
But Eddie Guerrero did that, knowing so.
Yep.
His tag team partner was Art Barr. You know,
Yeah.
Art Barr was a great wrestler. That is the
Unbelievable.
originator of the Frog
Yeah.
Splash.
Los Gringos Locos.
I got to tell you, me and Damian Darling had an idea to do Los Gringos Asquerosos. That would have been awesome.
wow. Yeah.
That would have been awesome. But I think poor Adrian Street stopped making those tights. Shout out to Miss Linda. I think I absolutely still have a pair of those. But speaking of old stuff, is K&H gear still around? Do you know about that?
Yeah. I don't think they're still around.
Yeah,
I
think-
really don't.
Yeah, no, me neither.
A lot of people
forget.
bought their gear from them.
Dude, Shark Boy bought his gear from there. They're the type of people that make the tights
Yeah.
over the trunks.
Oh, really?
You know, like
yeah.
X-Pac, Christian.
Yeah.
I don't understand it, but
Right.
I've always just done one. I've always wanted to wear bikers, but my legs are sticks. So
Yeah.
right.
So listen, what's been some of your favorite concerts you've been to?
Okay, really weird. I could go out and wrestle in front of 10,000 people
Yeah.
and say, this dude's, whatever. Obviously put him over, but completely make an ass out of myself for the sake of the product. But I hate people. I can't stand concerts because so I've been to 3,
Yeah.
4. I went for the experience alone, the environment. I saw Pearl Jam at Fenway.
Yep.
After I finished puking, spending so much money, it was
lot
a
of money.
really nice show. And then I started to question: is this a hologram or Bono in a mask?
Right.
But then he hit me with a wild rendition of Crazy Mary into Crazy Mary into Immortality.
Really?
Odd. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and he played Footsteps, but as Times of Trouble.
Right. He likes to talk during his shows too.
Yeah.
Huh? He like talks almost in between
So
each
did the dude
song.
next to me, wanted to keep telling me, and I
Yeah,
just was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, hell yeah, Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so anyways, concerts, I went, so I've seen Soundgarden.
Yep.
I saw Chris Cornell. Wow. That is bucket list for me. I saw Chris Cornell at the Royal, the very nice, at the Wilbur Theater.
Yep.
It was very personal. It was like super up close, It was a really weird experience. I never felt
Nice.
so, yeah. So it was just, yeah, it was very cool. And then my favorite band, probably a little bit more obscure, is like Greg Dooley from the Afghan Wigs. They're also very Seattle. They write. You wouldn't think that they wrote music for Usher or Rihanna, but
okay.
their crowd would consist of me and 47 lesbians with your haircut. So I'm not getting beat up at that show.
Yeah.
But it's a hell of a time.
I don't know about you, but I like that girl that can whack me around a little bit. Though.
Well,
I don't mind that. You know what I mean?
They're closed.
All right. So listen, you got a picture here. Why don't you hold it up? Molly Holly.
That's my NDA about Han Wonder.
Dude.
All right.
She's amazing and she's beautiful, and
Guys.
everybody says she's the nicest lady, man.
Well, I mean, listen. I actually have. If I could get a, hold on. Elon put the chip in me last week. If I could get a stagehand in here to just bring me that bag of my concussion papers and all that gimmick stuff, 10-4. But in the meantime, don't make me act like Steven Seagal. I'm serious. Anyways, so I used to write to wrestlers who might not be working every week.
Right.
And if anybody could hear me back there, that is my hint that I tried to subtly drop. But if I could get those papers over there, babe, please, just slide them. But if not, I'm just gonna. Guys, have a visual image, okay? So I used to write to.
Yeah.
Hold on, I heard a ghost. Anyways, I used to write. I'm looking at this picture, and like lady wrestlers nowadays, you can't not see a nipple.
Right.
Not here.
Nope.
You know what I see? A school teacher.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, she's a.
And I think she's actually teaching.
She probably is.
Oh, no, yeah, she's got. I think she's actually she works with Sean Devari and Ken Kennedy at the school.
Come on, it's all right. You
Just
come
awesome.
on. Thank you.
Kayfabe. Keep your eyes off of.
They saw her. They only saw her for a split second.
Listen, Tony's not here. Please, I trust you in this cup.
No, but it's funny because when you brought up that Tony wrestled
Yeah.
Raven.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
That must
Scott Levesque,
no, but
Scott Levesque.
yeah, that must have been like because Scott's a big dude. When he wrestles a guy like that, he really look. You know what I mean?
No, let me tell you something. Tony looked like he could hold his own.
Oh no,
And
that's
he-
what I mean.
But like, I didn't know how. By no means was Raven in good shape. Tony was ready to wrestle Raven.
Right.
If that was on heat, nobody would bat an eyelash.
Right.
I saw.
Oh, yeah,
Bob,
no doubt.
I like Bob Evans a lot. Last time I saw him, I think we actually had a great interaction. I looked to buy a couple figures off his son.
Nice.
As far as I know, we're very cool.
Yep.
But I saw another match with him and Steve Blackman on Heat, and quite honestly, I don't think body wise.
Yep.
And I'm nobody to judge, but wrestling Steve Blackman, it was very obvious.
Right.
Who was playing what part?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no
Whereas
doubt.
at an indie show, Raven may be on his way down, covered up. You don't realize the guy might be 6'4", and he's got a 33-pound head. But so anyways, back to the picture, like I was saying before. I have always been upset. All I've ever wanted to do was music or wrestling.
Right.
And since I have no desire to, unless you let me do an awesome rendition of Eddie Money Shakin' right now, it ain't happening. But I taught myself how to play guitar. I read it like drums. It's very weird, but I can do it.
Yeah.
But I don't have a goal to play on stage or play my theme music out to there. I would just rather hire somebody in a Tupac mask to rap me to the ring.
There you go.
Yeah. And then dressed as Davey Cash, fool everybody, grab the mic and say, guess what? It's really Eric Dillon.
Right.
David Cash is the shits. But he's not. I love you, buddy. Write this angle down. I'm going to put listen, Cassius, good wrestler, good kid.
That's his son, right?
Yes, good.
Doing really well,
Doing
man.
very well.
Yeah,
Doing
definitely.
so well, he should probably give me the figures that I want.
See that there you go. But really, Cassius is doing a good job, man, for a young kid.
Can I say something? And I really hope his head doesn't smash through the TV while I was watching this. But we paired off at a NLP. Sorry, not NLP. NLP. That was Brian Reese.
Yeah.
My God, that was 20 years ago.
No Limit Pro.
I just showed how disgustingly
that guy, Brian
decrepit
Reese.
old I am here. Brian, you like Brian Reese?
No, I don't. Not at
okay.
all.
Oh well.
Not at all. But that's all right. You can talk about it. It doesn't matter to me.
Hey, I mean, you didn't get your money. I did. It doesn't
There you
matter.
go.
I still don't like him.
Yeah. No, I never got paid. I was a ring announcer for him 3 times. He never once paid me.
Oh, I think. Well, see, you know what? Let's. Me and Leo are going to agree on this. I'll hate him too because Todd Sopel sounds weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Especially that for Bob Evans' ass at that one point.
Right.
Whew. Woof. Anyways, Molly Holly, guys, she wrote.
She's
I
beautiful,
used to write to
man.
everybody. I got autographs from the most. If you don't think anybody's writing to Red Dog or Sho Funaki, I'm your guy.
Yeah,
you
you were.
And I'm writing, hey man, I have a tape I'm writing to Chris Canyon. Hey man, when do you think you have the time to take a promo picture in your purple Mortis gear? How do
Right.
I know that? Because I'm sitting on Angel Fire trying to find something that takes 35 minutes to download, like you try to get a,
Yeah.
it's like buffering pair of titties, So I finally, I write this, CO WWE. Not only does she write me a letter, and she puts this on the back.
Yep.
And
Would you read it for him?
well, okay. Oh, Eric, thank you so. No, Molly Holly is so nice. Nora, I can't make fun of
Yeah.
her. She's awesome. But other than using my real name, which may or may not be Eric, Eric also spells rice. Anyways, she says, "Thank you so much for this kind letter. Please read 1 Timothy for." Let's just back that up for my religious people so I don't screw that one up and send you to the wrong passage. All right. Sorry, Ted. Oh yeah. I offended Ted DiBiase. Okay, I offended Ted DiBiase because I was like, I do impressions,
Yeah.
and I love Eddie Guerrero. It was out of
Yeah.
love. I said, Orale, I'm so excited. I want the Susan G. Komen. And he had a Susan G. Komen breast cancer t-shirt on. And like, I thought he was going to go, ha, 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 ha.
Right,
But
but no.
instead he just walked away. But,
Had a jerk.
lighten up.
Him and his son robbed the churches or something like that.
The thing about it is like he should have thought about Timothy 1:12 when he was banging all those rats on his wife in the 80s,
Yeah.
right?
So that's what it was, Timothy 1:12.
Yeah, I don't think it was Timothy 1:12, and to be honest, I'll tell you what that is. It's pretty much follow your dreams. And did I pay attention to it? I took mind of it, and I'll tell you what, it doesn't make any more sense to me than it does now, and it's just as important to me as it was then. And I have multiple things like this. Going back to Gino, if you want to go back to that later, but I try and save everything. One day, I hope to be just as angry as Jim Cornette and have a just as organized room.
Nice. Now, guys, what I asked Eric off here when he showed me that is, what did he write in a letter for Molly Holly to tell him to read the Bible? But he couldn't remember, or he didn't, or maybe there's an NDA with that
no,
too.
maybe I just wanted to save it for the show, brother. Or maybe I didn't, dude.
That's right.
No,
but listen, this is what I really would love to talk about that.
But seriously, it was
Yeah.
all very, very
Innocent, right?
No, of course, no,
Yeah.
no. It was like, nothing. You know what really turns me on in the twilight of my career is seeing Molly Holly get her head shaved by Victoria, dude. No, but that was pretty good. That was not bad, Hogan.
It wasn't bad.
We could bring Jesse on too. Why don't you tell me?
Jesse's coming back,
Jesse Ventura's coming back when I say he's coming back.
I freaking love that guy.
I'll bring you to the Baja
Yeah.
and smoke us. I can hold my breath underwater for 35 minutes.
Because he was a Navy SEAL.
I've been sucking off dogs with Navy SEALs with Sergeant Steve Sniffs since 1972. Where were you when the towers fell?
Oh.
It's no carrying cross, but it's all right, But man, I'll tell you what. If we weren't so woke, I could hit you with a great Tiger Riley sing. But
Yeah.
I could already see this episode's going to be followed by the following views sponsored. Hell yeah, you know what you're getting into.
No, I told you know what's following this. The court case.
Pow pow. That is
Right.
not for the winner or loser. Who knows?
I know I asked you this off air or anything, but do you have any Rocky Raymond stories that you could tell, or
I mean, that would be such a jerk thing for me to do, to just
Yeah.
allude you onto a story. But I can just tell you this, and everybody that knows, that I really do have nothing to do with any of it. But I wouldn't even imagine who could be behind this terrible Yellow Tiger tire tragedy. I don't know what it's about, but, goddamn, it had to have been deserved, right? I don't know. I really don't know. I wasn't on the show. I was supposed to go. I was supposed to
Yeah.
go watch. But honestly, I'm 50-50 right now because I think one of the people that I did it, I would love to bury as much as they buried me. But the other one, I love. So I'm going to keep that quiet.
all right. Well, I got to ask you this name because you told me something off here.
Sure.
And Silvana Souza.
Yeah. So obviously, I exaggerated, but when
Oh, it's not true?
oh yeah, it's true, but it just wasn't. When I greet you with, "Hey, MFer," it's a term of endearment,
Right,
You know,
right.
he didn't quite say that, but you know, when you're a 13-year-old guy at the bar and you get slipped a Midori Sour and an email address, I gotta tell you, I could have been the next Steve Bradley. And here's the thing: I love Steve Bradley. Like
Right.
my hair is like this right now, not because of Jericho, but because of Steve Bradley.
Nice.
And
Yep.
everybody's.
Bradley was
now
awesome.
it's great shit. But when I was doing like the Mickey Rourke thing,
Yeah.
it was easier to just be the wrestler because I could brother this, brother that. Nobody. I'm disgusted with the fact that whoever's the the WFA champion doesn't even know who Steve Bradley is.
Marsh Pitt's the champion. He doesn't know who Bradley is?
I'll tell you what. I worked Marsh Pitt at practice. Good kid.
Yeah.
But you know. To me, if you're wrestling, okay,
Right.
Regardless of whatever promotion, if you like it or not, don't you want to know the lineage of what you represent?
Yeah.
Or are you that self-absorbed that your title starts right when yours does?
Right.
That's
Yeah.
where I'm a little like,
Right.
cool. You can't. We fist bump now.
Yep.
We don't shake hands. You think I'm gonna give you my neck? That's why you're getting a shitty match, man.
Right.
Right.
Eric, we got 22 minutes left.
Well, let's bang it out, man. These last 22 minutes, I want to be white hot.
All right, listen, I looked up some of the people you wrestled, and I saw this one match, and this is very strange, dude. It was a three-way match between Carlos Gabriel versus you versus Kid Reflex. Who was Kid Reflex then if you were already in the match?
Who's the third dude?
Kid Reflex.
This is the day after Chris Cornell passed away, so I used his. I came out to Slaves and Bulldozers that
Okay.
night. This is Blackheart's screw up calling my good friend Craig, miss you, buddy, Chris Cruz.
Yeah.
He was apparently Kid Reflex.
Gotcha.
But,
gotcha. I have Chris Cruz written down, too.
Yeah,
I do.
I'll tell you what, though. Carlos went over, so it doesn't really matter.
Right. But I saw that, and I was like,
Dude,
what the hell is this?
A nice TV match I had for that guy Nat. A good dude, Nat.
Yeah.
Good friend of Matt Storm's. Okay.
Okay.
Ran a
Love
show
Matt.
in Connecticut. I forget. Wasn't it Nomads or was it? I don't know. But I had wrestled Scott Levesque. Okay. Now this is a nice 10-minute baby heel.
Right.
We didn't call nothing. Rich Bass was out there. We called the finish, but working with each other a lot. How do you say? We pick and choose. Brother,
Yeah.
let's do that thing.
Right.
So there was a lot of ad-libbing. So I didn't think they would go so far as to ad-lib. When you go search the match, it's Chris Venom versus versus Scott Levesque. And I got to tell you, I love Chris Venom, so I was honored. But people think there's so many views on that match, and I think it's just because it's Chris Venom's return, and it's just me.
So you were Chris Venom on that show?
No, they titled it Chris Venom. They labeled me Eric
I
Dillon.
gotcha.
So if you type Chris Venom versus Scott Levesque, it's Eric Dillon versus Scott Levesque. But there's so many
Gotcha.
views because people are like, oh, it's Chris Venom coming back?
Right. No, I hear you.
Sean,
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And he was the guy.
He was incredible, man.
Okay, so
was.
I remember the smallest detail of I loved going to Slam Tech practice because it would always be different. And by the way, my opinion on Doug Summers hasn't changed. You still work, buddy? Neither do I.
And that's Bob's school, right?
Yeah,
Slam Tech, Bob Evans.
Very well.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe a couple guys, Sean, Chris Venom,
Yep.
Bob. That's actually where I had my very first TV match against Nick Steele.
Oh, wow.
And I
The
have
late,
that on
great Nick
VHS.
Steele.
And let me tell you how we went 239. We didn't call it a thing. Scared shitless. Literally, as a kid, up until maybe 5 years ago, always had to sit up a little extra straight.
Yeah.
When we started going to practice together, and I got to know a little bit more about him. I wish I knew that earlier. But man, if there's anybody, if there's everybody says that the Bobby Eaton of wrestling is the nicest guy, but as far as people who keep their word and screw wrestling,
Yeah.
Nick, taught me a lot of stuff as an only child in an interesting situation that your word is extremely important, and even if it's hard work, it will pay off. And I see guys like Brandon and Frank Vane, all live with that same mentality.
Yeah.
You know, we like I said before.
They learned that from Nick.
Well, like I said, we had the shadow
Probably.
box at the PAL hall where it's and I had made one for Nick, so it's
Nice.
in there, and everybody contributed something.
Can I
in
just
there.
say this? You know, when you said you were wrestling, I know he took care of you because you were a young. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you this. So there's nice guy Nick Steele, and then there's Nick Steele who doesn't know who Eric Dillon is and is like, that gear makes you look so gay.
Oh no!
And man, this was when like wrestling was cool, all
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like there was still Shark Bait, and like I'll tell you what, like we were like, I think he thought maybe I would like complain or something or whatever, but he super like for me not to post,
Yeah.
not call anything, took care of me. Oh yeah,
No doubt.
But like, let me tell you. I feel like if I, to take that and just show up the next day and not even, of course, selling chops in the ring,
Yeah, yeah.
but not complaining about it in the
Right,
back.
right.
For Nick, not to say anything at all is louder than anything.
Right. No doubt. I only met him once and he was awesome. How about you just wrestled the Juckets for Jimmy
I
Allen?
wouldn't say I just wrestled them. They just decided to put out that footage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it takes a lot of confidence to build up. I guess if you say you're going to draw 300, it comes up 37. But yeah, talk about it.
So how was the match? I mean,
Well,
both those. That's Devin Baker and Steven Russo.
Okay. So the match, I showed up there first. Devin was there. My tag team partner was coming from Maine.
Okay.
Slick Wagner Brown student.
Yeah.
Shout out Slick. Shout out Bobby
awesome.
Ocean.
Oh, yes.
These are great guys.
Both those guys.
Yeah. Last time, Bo Douglas too. I missed you too, buddy.
Yeah, no doubt, Bo.
Makua, Sammy.
Sam is awesome.
Geez, so many more. I'm missing a lot of guys here, but Damien Darling, you already know I'm thinking about you all the time. But anyways, tastes like Yingling, right? Is that how they say that in New York? Anyways, thinking about accidentally puking on what's his face's Sonny's shoe because I was thinking of Damien. So if you want to just hit me with that question again.
No, just how was the match against the Juckets?
Oh yeah, it just as you can
Just
tell.
all right.
No,
because they got a
all right,
silly,
we got
they
six-
got a silly gimmick going on.
Guy, we got 60 minutes left, and I could go a half hour on this James Allen. All right, I got nothing to lose. Okay, I brought the PLW title. I have it. Everybody knows where it is. Carlos Arenas told me not to wear boots because I look like a backyarder, and it bothered me. So I decided to wear wrestling shoes when I was going to get the belt because Nick Narcissic's second rope dropkick is still in the dick, so it doesn't make any sense. But anyways, I wrestle the Juckets. I show up there first, gung ho, guns blazing.
Yeah.
Took my Nugenics, took my vitamins in the morning, supplements, my D3. I oiled my back. You know what I'm saying? My brain was ready. I did the Ric Flair slap. I was dressed before everybody. Did some springboards in the ring. Is this all an exaggeration? 85%. But was I there before everybody else?
Yeah.
Right on. And I offered to take the pin because it was so goofy. They wanted to do a wheelbarrow pin and hold my legs up. Well, I said, yeah, I hold my legs up. But when I get back up, let me pantomime this. And then I watch the footage and I'm like, that looks like me getting ready to take it if they pause that, huh? But, I don't know. So before this, I hadn't worked for Jimmy since he was doing, since me and Brandon were doing those shots. And without disclosing the amount of money, it was never a question. And it was always there. It was different for us, but like it was the same. And I was always taken care of by him.
Right.
Okay? When I needed to leave early. Now, keep in mind, I'll be completely candid. A lot of people I used to be just seeing in the locker room, maybe kind of zombie-like. I think a lot of people might think that, Eric's 3 sheets to the wind. Well, no, man. Maybe you guys just don't know that every time I had to see you people, I was down in about 12 to 13 Xanax bars, So to go into a show sober and have the promoter say, you must want your money to go get high, bleep it or not, James Allen, that's a piece of shit move, man. I tried to call you, and I have all the text messages. Chris Gallerini, who's that, Tank the Tank, tried to call you too, man. This is, what else can I do? It's not about, I don't care. But I went up there with with Ryan Bisbell's wife. That lady has so much respect for this business. And she didn't know that Mike had the book, the money, and she didn't catch no heat, you
Right.
know? But, and I'm not going to say who dimed out anybody because it's a good friend of mine, okay?
Right.
But for my own trainer to say, oh, while I'm getting the same pay with a woman who just had a baby in her 40s, doesn't have to wrestle in Woonsocket.
Right.
And normally, if you run a wrestling show, your envelope it should be there before you even think about putting your knee pads on.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree with that.
I mean,
do.
that's how it should be.
Some
But, like,
people
no,
do
no.
pay like that.
But like
though. Some people
listen,
do.
but like my friends, I don't care. But
Yeah.
like if you run like every wrestling show that I've done that's been a spot show like that,
Right.
Even Rocky Raymond has always been. No, sorry, not Rocky Raymond. Even Sparta, it's been like, oh, sorry,
Yeah.
shit, no. Sataro,
Yeah.
okay, because
Yeah,
Don
Chris,
Vega,
right?
Yep.
Was it- yes.
And Vega, okay. Bert Centeno,
Yep.
okay. And that was the way that I was watching Don Vega. You know,
Right.
it's important. Your door. If you got boys on the show, you can't count on your door.
Right.
You
Right.
know, and your merch. That shit has to be your fault line, and you go from there.
Yep.
Those envelopes need to be sealed before anybody puts their boots on.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
I'll be honest with you, there are a couple promoters that do that. They
I
pay
know they
when
do.
you
I know
walk
they
through
do.
the door.
And the
man.
thing is, Jimmy has done that before, and Jimmy's done a couple other things but I love kayfabe, so I'm not going to destroy that. But I will say this: Carlos V worked that show and did not ask for his money. Didn't get paid, never got used again, still got talked shit about. I got my money, buddy.
Yeah.
So did Evilise. Only difference is, I'm Eric Dillon.
Right.
Blessing and a curse.
Yes. Yes. All right. How about the BC kid? That's
Sorry.
Ben. Nick. I don't know how to pronounce their last name. He's got a dad in the business. His dad's a referee. Ben and Nick.
Carisi.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
hey, I'll tell you what.
Thank you. Sorry there, guys.
Ben. I'll tell you, listen, I love everybody that loves wrestling.
He loves wrestling.
Loves wrestling.
Loves it.
Me too. I think
It's a good kid.
I'll tell you what, on a Monday night, right now, for us sitting here in front of a couple ashtrays, we have to love wrestling, buddy.
Right.
So, and for his dad, again, me being an only child, a lot of people don't know that my parents are my best friends, you know what I mean? No one would think, maybe it's not so cool that the grungy Eric Dillon has a nice family, and maybe Eric Dillon's mom's cooler than him and knows more about Soundgarden, but, we're inside the ropes.
Sounds like I'd like your mom. Don't get mad at me. I'm just she sounds pretty
I
cool.
don't- listen,
she sounds pretty. She's probably around my age too.
I'll tell you what. I think I'm still being. Of course, Steve's married now, but for it was the longest running gag. Now this is how far back it goes. I had to get a Polaroid. They begged, take a Polaroid of your mother out of the shower.
I can't believe people would actually say that to you.
Guy, it's hilarious.
Oh, but they were just busting you.
of
then.
course,
I was gonna say, man.
Because I had to sign a waiver. I'm 13 years old. My mom walks in there and she's blaring, tantric,
Right,
right?
right, yeah.
Or Days of the New,
Yeah.
right? And Steve's out there,
And she's a looker, and she's coming in to sign a waiver, so everyone's looking at her.
She's like me if I didn't age like milk,
right? No.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like take this little reverse Hitler mustache off me.
So it sounds like you have the relationship that I have with with my youngest.
It was.
I have a good relationship with all my kids.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but I was around more with my youngest only because I was a screw up with my older children.
So I can relate
doing
to that.
too much drugs and stuff.
I had the most amazing childhood. Okay,
Sounds awesome.
When I was 13 years old, a little before that, my mom had an injury at work and she got addicted to drugs.
Yep.
So at that time, shit got a little rough.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of people think, only child, whatever, stuff like that. My dad is my dad. I call my stepdad.
Right.
Now, him and my mom divorced in the year 2000. This man has no obligation to be
He's
here.
still there for you.
But why I love Don Vega and Julio, his father, so much
Yeah.
is because they share that camaraderie that me and my dad have. And the last show that I did, I worked for Ricard out in Mansfield, and obviously Steve's not going to smile if he sees me, but when he saw my dad, he's like, "Hey, Orlando," because my very first show at the Fisherman's Club, sitting right next to my dad, and I got a picture of me, Bo Douglas, and my dad at Fenway.
Nice. Yeah,
And,
yeah.
So
Those shows were a lot of fun, man.
yeah, it depends if you had heat stroke or not. Yeah, it depends.
Yeah.
It depends. But like also, my dad is notorious for being like, you think if I bring these Bangladesh quarters, they'll take that in the meter? So like, we caught a ticket, but either way, I made it home.
Right.
But yeah, no, I like those shows because I get to see a lot of guys like Jason Rumble.
Yeah.
And
Hey, it's me, Rumble.
more like, guy, I got a killer idea for you, but I need you to put over JT Dunn. I know. But you're gonna work Bo after, I promise. I'll take care of you. Who loves you, guy?
That's a good one.
That actually wasn't
is
too
a good
bad,
one.
but that was Jason Rumble after like. I
love Rumble.
That's after we, maybe we were talking in the van for a couple minutes.
Nice. All right. So listen, we got 7 minutes. Let's talk about your concussion
You do
first,
whatever you want.
okay?
That's 7 minutes. I like
So
it.
this is from the night where Ryan
and we're gonna
Brown
run.
asked.
We're gonna run down those questions too. Yes. So ask your question. Yes.
All right. So you had a head injury, right? And you
Still
got
do.
stitches in the back of the head.
Staples.
Staples. How many? Do you remember?
7.
7 staples. And not only did you go, you had a concussion, you got stitches, you went to the hospital,
So the
but
story-
you came back.
I didn't want to go to the hospital, man. The story behind this is I got pile driven on a Dell computer monitor, and it hit the corner. You can't see it, but the piece of the monitor is still there. Okay. I didn't want to go to the hospital. Brandon Webb thought it was cool to but you're underage, 16,
Yeah.
So he calls my mom. The hospital comes. I super glue the damn thing.
No, you went to the hospital. The hospital didn't come to you.
No, I super glue the damn thing. I say I'm fine. My mom comes, takes me, and Brandon followed me to the hospital. And then later on, I got this paper towel around my head, blood around the thing. I walk in like it's Puerto Rico, and I just saw Bruiser Brody.
Yeah.
And I ask for a beer. And I'm 16, and because I'm so decrepitly pale from blood loss, she hands it to me, and she gave me a bag of chips.
Nice.
So
nice.
the question is, why would I not return? If I didn't
Right.
come back to the bar, well, you might as well just chop off my pee-pee, brother.
There you go. No one has ever brought a hospital thing in here.
Yeah,
So that's kind of cool.
It's
a first.
You know what? What's cool about it is that what's actually super embarrassing about it is going in there with your gear.
Yeah.
And you're not a big deal. So embarrassing, especially when I was wearing those one-legged tights.
Yeah.
I penis suplex.
Oh, you had to-
Oh, yeah, brother. And funny, the doctor's name is PCP. That explains a whole lot, right?
Listen.
Primary care provider.
Yes,
LOL.
yes. Listen, I want to talk about your figures.
Okay.
Because you're pretty talented, kid. You really are.
I feel. Could we? I'll open it for you. So this is for sale. I got a real interesting following. If as many people watched my matches, I'd be really happy. But I'm happy with this too. So this is 3D printed. I paint the whole thing. Leo, they are sealed and playable. Do your thing.
Amazing, man.
That's 2002 Abyss. I like to focus on guys that didn't get action figures. So you're going to see guys very obscure. I have a Perry Saturn from Metal 2001.
Love Perry Saturn. It's one of my favorite. It's my favorite tag team.
Ken
the
Kennedy in his
Eliminators.
last match with Eddie Guerrero. I'm now working on a Jerry Lynn with an F, Flynn. I like to make the weird ones, you know? And I don't even want a character of myself because to me, I've always just wanted to be the cool. So coming round circle,
Yeah.
the compliment that I got from this 8-year-old boy while I'm watching a show, and I didn't want to take away from the show, but I dress like a jackass regardless.
Yeah.
Of course, if you don't think my sunglasses were tinted for no reason, they were. So a kid came up to me and said, "How come you're not the Intercontinental Champion?" I said, "That's a hell of a question." But the best compliment was, "If you were an action figure, I would buy you first."
Nice.
That's the only reason why I have all this shit, all these tattoos.
Yeah.
Is because it's wrestling gear that doesn't come off, you know?
Yep. Absolutely. But what I really like about the Abyss one is my grandson, when he was just a baby, I
Sure.
took him to the TNA Fan Fest in Lowell.
Yeah.
And his first picture was with a wrestler was Abyss.
Let me tell you-
And he was petrified, dude. But there I am with a big smile. My grandson's got his arms around my neck.
If only he was Joseph
So
Park
scared.
then.
Oh, I know.
Now I'll tell you what though. From what I heard, I'm not sure if it's true, but I couldn't be. A lot of people are like jealous when people are happy.
Yeah.
I could name them. We will. We got 3. 3 minutes, not 3 names. But you know, the good thing about this is like I wish he did work for WWE.
Yeah.
But
He does now.
the fact that he's well regarded to be a producer,
Yeah.
not only producer,
Yeah.
lead producer.
Right.
Hey,
No doubt.
Congratulations, Chris Park.
No doubt. He's incredible, man.
Ken Kennedy?
What a nice guy, though, too.
Yeah.
He really was.
I'm a big Bob Holly fan, so I don't know if I like Kennedy, but I mean,
Yeah.
you know, does anybody?
That looks so good, though. The Kennedy one.
They're all so I mean,
That one looks good, too.
they're all so.
And how you told me how you made it, it's shocking.
I use it's all by hand. You know, it's just if you can get a close up to the camera, I just like because that
Look
was
at
the
that.
detail on that. You know, I said it takes me about 2.5 hours, but if I
It's
do.
amazing. Look at the back shoulders
So
and
if
everything.
you'll notice the tattoos, what I
Yeah.
do is basically take the pictures of these guys and I scale the image down,
Right.
okay, and turn it into a temporary tattoo. Switch it so there's no pixelization, okay, and then put it on a decal paper. Once on decal paper, it slides on like a tattoo.
Yep.
I seal it with a lacquer.
Okay.
And it's the same lacquer that they use for the regular toys. So you could slam that goddamn thing on the floor, and
Wow.
it's just like a figure.
That's amazing, though, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks exactly like him.
I've made a couple. Gino has a figure. Baker has a figure.
Do you really have, yeah?
Nick Steele has a figure. There are very few people. Steve Ricard has a figure.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's very rare. I like. Ooh, that would
Well,
have been.
Steve Ricard would definitely be rare.
Yes, but especially I spelled it wrong. I was 13. Steve Richard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But it does say YPW. Listen, we got almost a minute left. You want to run down those 10 names?
Let's do it.
Word association?
We got Brandon Webb.
Oh, best friend. Buddy, I love you. Also, Battle Sooth.
All right. Joe Junio. Joe Junio.
Joe Eugenio.
Eugenio. I didn't even say it
Bro,
right.
we're gonna have to go overtime, brother. I love Joe Eugenio. Seriously, I always believed in me. People think whatever they want about him. He has been literally the most upfront, honest person that I have honestly dealt with in this disgusting business that I love.
Nice. How about Ryan Drew?
Really, really cool. I always thought he hated me, but like, nah. I haven't seen him in a long time, so I just want to say hi and talk to me, buddy.
How about a guy that's having his last match real soon, Teddy Goods?
How soon?
I think soon.
I don't know, man. It's cool. Sin Cara, what is Sin Cara means one? I don't know. Sin Cara is one face, so that means Dos Caras is two-faced. But that doesn't have anything to do with Teddy. Hold on. I don't know. Let's say, I don't know. You don't buy toys off somebody and then they leave the store and then you shit talk them, but like, who
Yeah,
knows?
that
I don't know if
that
that
ain't
happens,
cool.
but hypothetically speaking, people
Right,
goes to
right.
a toy store. By the way, Kojo's is really good. It's a great toy store.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've
It's
heard
just
it.
unfortunate that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don Vega.
My brother, and truthfully, has pulled me out of a lot of situations that I didn't ever think I'd be in. And him and his family are my family.
Nice. Listen, we can go one more. Sean Candido.
Dude, Road Dogg, the guy that told me literally by force, do not, you will not do this. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do this. Repeatedly over and over again until he found himself in a feud with me, gigging, And
Nice.
because of that, we have an interesting relationship where he's the one guy I don't mind looking at me as a 15-year-old eager kid because he still sees that in me.
Nice.
We share a lot of the same wrestlers. He's Sean Candido. He loves Chris Candido. I love
Nice.
that bombshell powerbomb. Would I take it? Hell no. Would
Right.
I give it? Maybe. But
Nice.
that's not wrestling rules.
Eric, thanks for coming on, man.
Listen, let's stand up. And
No,
bring it up.
we won't be in the camera eyes. That's why.
Hold on. Oh, shit.
Ah, ain't that strong.
Oh, no. I just wanted to show everybody that's
All
not
right.
booking me, I could sell.
There you go. Guys, we're out. Peace. Hi, guys. I hope you're enjoying the show. Listen, I could use a little help to grow my YouTube channel. So if you could please like, share, and subscribe, that's most importantly, subscribe. Send me a direct message And I'll give you a shout out here on the show. My YouTube channel is real simple. It's just my name, Leo Connors. Thanks in advance. Peace.
Thank you.